up, y'all? Good Monday. Good to see y'all. Listen, y'all. If y'all don't know, this is TFG Tonight, and I'm your host, Mr. Haynes. And this is the best morning show that you can watch at night. Y'all listen, that's Devin, that's Lee, and that's Kenny.
I'm trying to be nice.
Black said we got two Americans.
Say to my brother Black, man, I think you could be a preacher. I ain't never heard somebody that use a curse word and then read a scripture right after.
So let me state for the record, I am a misogynist. You know,
Pull out your card, Doc. He's
and I'm a chauvinist as well. Anybody who knows me knows that.
That's right. That is
Now I can go back to minding my own business.
true.
Either that boy is Benjamin Button or somebody lying.
And listen, and that boy may be mentally 12, but he's 34.
You bad boy, you don't do it again.
I'll let Black articulate a little bit better than that.
Nope.
Okay.
Never mind.
Laughter is good for the soul. It's like medicine, right?
Yeah, for real.
That's all I gotta say. I wish I had one of them applause buttons to, like that.
Good morning, y'all. Happy Monday.
What up, y'all? Man, I am so excited, Demi. Hey, good to see you, man. Thank you for joining us. Y'all, it's Monday, and it's the week after Labor Day. I don't think you're supposed to wear, is it white shoes or white? I don't know. It don't matter. It's ignorant anyway. But listen, I'm excited. Listen, y'all, the whole family's here. And we're going to have a good time because we got some steam to blow off because we got folks that we work with that get on our nerves. We working late, making hardly any kind of money. I mean, everybody except sister because you need to be a travel agent now, the way you just, all this stuff. Gus, what's up? Y'all doing all right? What's going on?
What's good, family?
Sir.
How you all doing?
Y'all don't know I miss y'all when I don't see y'all. I watch the show when we ain't doing it. I be talking back to y'all if y'all don't know that.
That's hilarious.
Oh my goodness. So y'all listen, when y'all come in and say what's up, listen, y'all know how we do. Talking point tip jar. Y'all know if we say something y'all like, go hit our little cash app on the bottom, scrolling down. But I'm not gonna waste no time because we got people to talk about today. Listen, and the football is on, but it ain't going good as it was, but so it's okay. We'll let Kenny talk about all that. But hey, I got some few follow-ups, y'all. Just a few. Number one, it's interesting. I got a couple of sports things. Michael Irvin. Y'all remember he had a lawsuit.
Right.
Mike got paid because he back on the show. He back in there. Yeah, right, exactly. Claps to Mike because listen, they trying to get him, man. And I don't know how much he got, Kenny. You know how much he got?
It's undisclosed. They wouldn't release the terms of it. Brother Black and I talked about it on live on yesterday. And in my guesstimation, it was $100 million defamation lawsuit they filed. And I'm just guessing. I think he probably got between 10 and 15 million. Just my guess.
Just for accidentally bumping up a white woman. Come on now. I'll tell you, that's all right.
Right, exactly.
So he back on the NFL Network or wherever that's where he was at.
NFL Network.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, they don't like for us to shame them, but I guess it's all right. But that is. But and listen, it's been a couple weeks, man, and Deion Sanders done had 2 games. He done won both of them. And again,
yes,
listen. He just like Floyd to me, man. He got a big mouth, but man, he when he backs that thing up, he backs it up like an 18-wheeler. Man, now I want to say this. We can run the tape. I was rooting for him, whatever he was doing. I don't think he's gonna win all the games. I don't think that, and I'm not expecting him to. But this is my thing. I hope he stay after his boys leave. That's my only concern, that he'll leave and do something else when his boys are leaving. That's the only thing about that for me, because he is giving such an impact. And I'm telling y'all, and see, Black, this is a thing we've been talking about, right? We've said this about just us and our not segregation, but separation. And Deion Sanders is giving us the blueprint of what it looked like when we are taking control of our own destiny and not letting our counterparts of the less melanin persuasion handle it. Now, again, they got to keep their hands in it because they in charge of everything. But Deion is showing us that if we come together, man, and listen, he putting that whole thing on his back. He won't let them boys take. I got it, but listen, he is doing it our way, and that's just with no apology. So I don't know what y'all think for the last 2 weeks. Y'all, what y'all expecting out of him?
That was literally from going back to when he was leaving the HBCU. Now, again, I defended his right to leave, but the impact of what he brings to the table, he's single-handedly reinventing college football.
Yes.
And for that, I couldn't be prouder.
Yeah.
And to your point, Brother Brenton, he is college football right now. And I'm with you. He don't have to win it all or anything, but what he's doing, I love that you said he's showing the blueprint. And I just hope we are able to capitalize on that and change the complexion of college football in such a way that it does trickle down now and benefit, other schools who aren't Colorado and of the different persuasion that they can take advantage of it. So that's what I'm hoping that. So I love what he's doing, and I believe, and I could be wrong, he don't need the money. He got money.
Yeah.
And I hope somewhere in there that when the money really starts getting thrown at him, that the greed part don't kick in and he sell out or something like that. Because right now, even what he did to his team, where he had the Michael Strahan suit that he gave to him, so he's already empowering and bringing in us in areas that he's opening doors that we haven't even been in before. And if he continues to do that, that's a bad man.
Right. Yeah. I don't know what Demi. I guess y'all did something for us. She said thank y'all.
Most definitely.
Show.
Yeah, most definitely, Demi. We definitely got you. Praying for you still.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, Kenny, Devin. I mean, again, I expect Deion to get a bowl, and I think he's gonna win it. But again, that I want to see the longevity in this thing. I don't want this to be, some project.
My thoughts is, I'm a Coach Prime fan. Been a fan. He got a big mouth. I love him. I love a black man with a big mouth. and I'm unapologetic about that. But he talks the talk and he walks the walk. So, the biggest impact I want to say that I love from Coach Prime is his impact on young men, black or white or Hispanic or whatever. If you notice, if you follow him on IG, you watch any of his videos, when he does his locker room talk, all them young men saying, "We love you, coach. We got you." Yep. That type of love he gonna take up for his boys. He consider all them young men his kids. So, and a black man doing it in a Power 5 conference in front of a lot of white men, it's a lot of pissed off people right now. And Coach Prime knows that. And he's keeping receipts. He's taking notes. He's taking names. He's gonna tell them like it TIE. And it's some black ones that don't like him either. Jason Whitlock. Yeah, I'm gonna call your name out. I don't like you, a clown. I hope you see this too, Jason Whitlock. You a big fat clown. Your show is fearless, but you ain't fearless, black man. You need to grow some. But anyway, my bad. That I had to get that out. So
all the verbs and adjectives there. Yes,
go ahead. I ain't even curse, and all this is.
That's not your thing. We leave that for these other two right there. So,
right, exactly.
Speaking of cussing, sister. I mean, what you thinking about old Deion Sanders these last couple weeks?
I like it. I do like it, and I hope other big names, because you got to think about it. It's got to be big names to have the money to follow, to have the sponsors and things like that kind of follow behind him and kind of help frame that. I do agree, and I do like his arrogance. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's kind of cute. Only because he backs it up, and he, you know what I'm saying, he ain't just talking trash. So I really do want to give him props, and I kind of like the new picture he's painting of some of our young black men.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep. Yes. So again, let's just see what he does. Again, we're not gonna overthink it. That he gonna go. What they do? 14 games in
They do
college?
like
10.
11, like 11
Yeah,
games.
yeah,
They play.
yeah.
It just depends. Yeah.
You're not going 11-0. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
USC gonna be a good one for him, but we're gonna see.
Yeah,
But
that's September 30th too. So that's the
yeah,
one to look
yeah.
out for. So
Listen, he got these women watching now. They don't even watch football. I got asked about 100 questions, sir. And I said,
"Oh, did you? Okay. Yeah.
oh my good. What they do? What they do?
Right.
Okay, just watch and they'll tell you what they do. All right, anyway. Yes, I like Demi. We do too. All right, so listen, I got one more thing really quick. Y'all know I'm still advocating for our national holiday. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, but I have an update, right? So we thought my man was gonna take a nice little L for that chair. No, all he got was disorderly conduct.
Oh, really? The
He did not get
Alabama.
he did not get an
Okay.
assault charge for busting them folks over the heads with that chair.
Well, good.
I love it.
I'm
I
all,
love it.
Yeah, that
Okay.
surprised me. I said, "What?" Okay.
Okay.
He got disorderly conduct, and I said, "Wow, man, you talking about a brother? He got some lottery numbers he need to play."
and especially in the state of Alabama too.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Man.
I you know what? I believe that. Here's my conspiracy, Black. You love them. I believe they probably letting him off because they probably gonna let them up.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. Yeah.
I mean,
That sound about right. That sound about white.
Right?
sound
You know what I'm
about
saying? Hey, I ain't no fool now. You know what I'm saying? So, I ain't gonna act like I don't know what I see. Okay, so you busted them upside the head with that chair. But that's okay. You get this again because if they don't let him off, you know what I'm saying, and then they do that, then guess what? You're gonna get you another brawl down there. So I know what you boys be down there doing. So we'll see what happens. But that's just what I see. I think gonna happen like that, but I don't know. Yes, so
Good point.
congratulations now, but we'll see later. So they want y'all shut your mouth when they let them other ones go, right? Yeah, that's it. So we're gonna see. All right, listen, let's keep it going. Y'all, we might be getting a raise from old Joe. I mean, I don't know if it's true. Last time y'all got somebody out, that inflation went up 97 billion.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Thanks, Uncle Joe. Thanks for nothing.
Cotton Donald. Yeah. Cotton Donald too. So apparently for over 80 years, the cornerstone of workers' rights in the county is for them to work 40-hour work weeks. The promise that you get to go home after 40 hours or get higher pay for each extra hour that you spend laboring away from your loved ones. Acting Labor Secretary Julie Sue said in a statement, I've heard from workers again and again about working long hours for no extra pay. And while earning low salaries, that don't come anywhere close to compensating them for their sacrifice. So there's a policy is anticipated to cover some 3.6 million workers nationwide and will apply to employees and enterprises that have an annual gross volume of sales made or businesses done of 500,000 or more. However, employees of certain businesses like hospitals, nursing homes, schools, and government agencies will also be covered under the rule according to the DOL. So it says the policy marks a reprise of a policy passed under Barack Obama, which proposed a doubling of the salary threshold for overtime pay from a little over 23,000 per year to 47,476 a year, resulting in millions more employees inside the United States becoming eligible for overtime pay. However, this rule was blocked by Obama appointees in 2016, but I don't know. I think this is a little who shot jump. There he is up there sign. Go on, brother.
I didn't even know you could hear me.
Yeah,
we can hear you, bro. Yeah, we can hear you. Your mic is not muted. We can hear
it
you.
is not. That's right.
And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I'm truly trying to keep my composure.
Okay.
Because real talk, I'm not supposed to care.
Yeah.
I am an inactive Jehovah's Witness, and religiously we're supposed to be neutral. But of course, we live in this world. And that's one of the principles I've always disagreed with organizationally, that how can you not care, because we live in this world, we're affected by these decisions. But I only bring that up to say that I'm truly trying to work on myself to not let this raise my brother. I can't stand him.
Mm-hmm.
I just despise, if you listen to everything you read, the insult of it all. You are proposing legislation that don't have a shit still in snowball in hell of getting really passed. And even if it did, it accomplishes absolutely nothing. Listen to what you read, that this might affect 3.6 million people.
Yeah.
And it's littered with all of what it might do and what it could do and who might be eligible. And it's a fucking insult that a octogenarian who has zero idea of what the real world is going through and what the average citizen has to deal with. And you're playing a game with people's lives. And what this is really about is you're watching, you and your cronies, and you seeing the worm is turning. I don't know if you guys have been following this. The outcry is growing for Trump to come back. They're blacks for Trump now, because the reality is they are saying we were better under him. We got an Obama because Bush was so bad that they were ready for any kind of change, and that ushered in the era of Trump. What he's doing, Trump is benefiting from the fact that under your administration, you are a rubber stamp. You're making promises because you're trying to line up for this election coming when you have no freaking real intent to do anything for the American people. And that just pisses me off, because you don't stand for anything and you only thinking about your legacy. You're a freaking crook. And this nonsense that you're talking about, you're doing more damage than Trump ever. Trump has rhetoric, but the reality is he did stand for something. And I just despise Joe in his campaign. I just despise him.
All right, sister, I'm gonna break it down. Let's break it down a little further, because I know some folks like, what are y'all talking about? So here it is. National Bureau of Economic Research found widespread evidence of firms appearing to avoid paying overtime wages by exploiting a federal law that allows them to label rank and file employees as managers while keeping them below the federal wage threshold, allowing them to dodge paying overtime to workers that might otherwise be required to. Sound like a little church something to me. They'll make a man that's been sleeping with half the women in the church, deacons and ministers, just so they keep paying their tithe. I mean, all right, sister, what you see that bait and switch going on?
I don't. None of it makes sense to me, because it sounds like he's doing the exact same thing that he did when he started the most recent campaign. But the most recent campaign was, I'm going to pay off all your student loans and get you out of debt. And now he's saying, now I'm going to give y'all all this overtime and make sure you're paying all these wages. And then when it don't happen, he'll say, well, they didn't let me, or I tried, or they didn't agree. And he a damn lie. And I also want to give Black props for not cussing, because it looked like he wanted to cuss a whole lot. He didn't cuss at all. But subliminally, I felt about 20, 25 cuss words come through the computer. We just didn't hear them out loud. So I just want to give him props for that. But y'all understand, y'all. It's time for a new campaign. So he gonna blow all kind of smoke up your booty hole. And you ain't getting nothing until he pay. My student loan payment start back October, just so y'all know. Well, that's when they told me I'm supposed to start. But so I don't care about nothing he's talking about, because he didn't do what he was gonna do the first time, and I didn't get no. People was talking about they were getting 10 grand. I didn't get nothing, but more interest. So I don't care about nothing he's talking about, and it makes me sad, because I don't want to vote for nobody else, but he getting on my damn nerves.
All right. All right. For the folks in the back, Kenny, I'm gonna give this one to you. So if y'all don't understand what we're talking about, I'm gonna give you an example. If a Dollar General worker is made to be a manager, so here it is. They'll determine that so-called managers spent more of their 60 to 90-hour weekly shifts performing manual labor tasks with no relation to traditional management duties, including tasks such as stocking shelves, running the cash register, unloading trucks, and cleaning the parking lots floors and bathrooms. So they're getting that free labor, and y'all ain't getting, y'all ain't doing none of that managerial work, right? Okay,
Right,
yeah,
right.
okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What you got to say about that, bro?
You know, I have some
Adam?
experience with this. What's going on, Nihar?
Yeah.
I worked in the television industry, and that's my background. That industry has been avoiding paying overtime for decades,
Right.
because what they used to do is, if you were made a certain salary, if you were a manager, instead of them paying you overtime for working anything over 40, you would accumulate comp days, which means that you would get a day off if you work such and such amount of hours a week. Well, that has worked well for the television industry, because you know what? There's breaking news. There's all the time. Sometimes we work 15, 16 hours a week or a day. I'm sorry, 15, 16 hours a day on a story that's breaking. So you could work 90 hours a week, but if you're a manager, all they're going to do is give you a comp day for you working extra, 10 11 hours or something like that. So they got away with saving millions. I'm talking millions of dollars of paying people that should have been getting paid overtime. But to go back to old Uncle Joe, this is just another empty promise from another politician. I don't know why you guys get worked up. Brother Black, I thought you was going to bust a blood vessel in your forehead, brother. I just want to tell you, man, don't do. I don't want to see you have a heart attack or brain aneurysm over these politicians.
Can't quit playing in my face, though. What you gonna do is quit playing in my face. I know what y'all be doing when y'all play like y'all be getting overtime, working 8 hours. Y'all be back there goosing, especially when it be like after dark and then evenings and at night. Y'all be back there in the back getting booty. Talk about y'all working.
Hey, what the hell? What the hell just happened? Wait a minute.
So they
I agree with the sister.
I need somebody to be real. Black, tell the truth. Y'all keep getting booty on overtime. Y'all think I'm doing. I know what y'all be doing in the back.
You know what? I plead the fifth. I'm like Dave Chappelle on the Chappelle Show. I plead the fifth.
They don't want to pay them for they playing, huh? All right.
She ain't lying. She ain't lying.
Oh my goodness. Oh, Miss Devin, you done went in on that one, Miss Devin. You went in. Oh Lord, have mercy.
Okay. Well, somebody's getting a raise or something. I don't know.
Y'all keep on hunching for free. Y'all keep on hunching and get those hours. Keep doing what you're doing. Y'all deserve more money anyway.
Oh, listening to you. All right.
Well, anyway.
Okay.
That was interesting.
Right. Yes. Thank you so much for that. Those colorful words of insight about why we shouldn't be getting paid. All right, y'all. Listen.
You a mess.
I wasn't gonna waste no time with him because it's a lot going on in these streets. So I don't know what he's gonna talk about. But brother, tell us what's going on with these sports.
I'm gonna give you some appetizers before we get to the meat of this segment. First of all, shout out to them damn Dallas Cowboys. They did the damn thing Sunday night. They whipped up on them New York Giants. And I know people say, well, the Giants suck, this and that. Last I checked, they're NFL professional team. So they can take an ass whooping just like anybody. But the Cowboys did their thing. That damn defense showed that they one of the top defenses in the league. Had 7 sacks, 2 interceptions. They had the special teams blocked the field goal, scored off of that. They scored off an interception. And again, the defense pretty much, won that game. The offense did enough, they didn't have to do much, but they played pretty solid too. But I also got to shout out to my Packers. The Jordan Love era started on yesterday, and we kicked them Bears in they you-know-what. And the Cubs, we got on the first plane smoking out of Soldier Field, and we took that win yesterday. So anyway, the NFL is live and in effect right now. We got the Bills and the Jets going down. If you don't know, the Jets' Aaron Rodgers is out for the game. He's in a walking boot. I just saw the video. Oh, wow. Ankle injury. So don't know how severe that injury is, but it's so funny that the Cowboys actually host the New York Jets next Sunday. Yep. And so Aaron Rodgers may not be available when they come to AT&T Stadium. So that is some of what's going on. Oh, I got to give a shout out to the Texas Longhorns. They went to Tuscaloosa and rolled up Tide. Not rolled Tide. They rolled up Tide. So shout out to the Texas Longhorns doing their thing. And we already talked about Colorado did their thing against Nebraska. Now, we're going to stay in football. We're going to the state of Florida. It's always some shenanigans going on in that state with their whack-ass governors around DeSantis. But we're not talking about him. We're talking about another high school football coach that then lost his damn mind, guys. Wow. He has lost his damn mind. Brother Brendan, whenever you get a chance, roll this video. I want you guys to take a listen to this, and we'll talk about it afterwards.
Yes, sir. 3, 2, 1.
Not be up. Do something. Get the up and do something. I'll blow your like a shambles. You got me
John, shut the door, bro.
Real talk. You want to be a gangster? Let's do some gangster shit. Let's go. Get up. Let's go. I want to blow your shit out so bad, you You a bitch. You a bitch.
I never told no one.
You a bitch.
I never told no one.
Go call your mom and tell her that. Come on, get up.
Coach, no.
Get the up. I'll rock your ass to sleep.
All right. That was head football coach Derek Jenks of Southwest Florida Prep School in Florida. And that video was posted a couple of days ago and went viral. He verbally attacked a player on his team by the name of Alvin Day. And this head coach would eventually, this is something I've never heard of. He suspended himself. And he was apologetic about his verbal assault on this young man. I'm going to start with you, Ms. Devin. Just give me your thoughts on that. And that's just only 45 seconds of it. It's a longer version on TFG Sports Media. But your thoughts.
That's when I wish that dude was a big enough dude to just get up and knock him out on camera. Since the rest of it was on camera, I wish he had the ability to get up and just knock him out and just embarrass him and just make him look just dumb. And he probably still would have got in trouble and got self-suspended, whatever the heck that means. I don't know if you can suspend yourself. Ain't that called quitting? I don't get it. But that was just deplorable. I don't know. You shouldn't talk to your own child like that. I would love to. I don't know. I've never seen that video. So I would love to know the background and what led up to all that and what the outcome other than self-suspension was.
Yeah. Brother Brent, you played football, correct? You played sports, high school sports. And I think all of us that play sports, we know that coaches will get in your face. They gonna if you ain't doing what you're supposed to do, they gonna talk bad. They gonna talk crazy to you. In my opinion, this coach he crossed the line. That he went from talking as a coach to talking as someone like you talking to a criminal on the street or a thug. Your thoughts on that audio?
So I'm definitely an advocate for old school coaching to a degree. He said something that I was waiting to hear it, and he said it. He said, "Call your mama." That's the problem. And I'm gonna tell you, from a person who did play football and now is a father to a son, the only reason he gets away with that is because he said, "Call your mama." I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. When we did play football, if somebody's daddy was out there, coach don't talk that way to that boy, because you know why? His daddy's there. And I'm gonna tell you the same thing for my son. See, here's the reality. These coaches are thinking that what's going on. Good to see you, Miss Diane. Thank you for joining me.
Hey, what's up, Miss Diane?
I'm gonna tell y'all this. My son made a decision about playing football for reasons I won't get into it deep. But again, the coaches came to my house. I wasn't here. My wife was here, and they came and they was trying to encourage my son. But we already had a conversation. So what did my wife do? She put me on the phone. See, it's only impactful to these kids when they ain't got no daddy. But see, these men showing up at my house and that man talking to that kid like that, well, that's only because they think they got the right to do that because these kids are with their mama. But I promise you, that man talking to my son, I'll be honest, I ain't gonna go into detail. I had a man approach my son at their football thing, And man, again, he was asking my son to do something that he wouldn't even do himself. You know what my son's daddy did? Went up to that doggone that school, and I said, "Hey man, let me see you for just a second." And I had words. Now, I may have channeled my Lee Black, but
Right.
But
Gotcha.
that's my only thing.
Right.
If he said call your daddy, well then he wouldn't have to suspend himself. They just wouldn't even, that you be doing what my girl Carly was doing, trying to go find some little white baby. Just tell you. So that's the thing with that. We've changed the game, coaches. Men are with their kids now. Y'all can cut it out. Yeah. I'll leave it at that.
Well, Black, I'm gonna give you this. His mother would comment on this video on a Facebook post, and she said that at this time the family is considering all options to ensure that Coach Jinks is held accountable. Your opinion on the mother's response to that video of him verbally assaulting her son?
My response to her response is that's what she's supposed to say. In this day and age of litigation and the possibilities of that, I'm sure, I would imagine, not sure, but I'm sure she's getting counsel. And that is the smart way to behave. And my personal thinking, she could go all ballistic and go ghetto and do this, that, and the other, but monetarily, that's probably in her best interest to say that. Now, having said that, I'm with Devin. I would like to have a little bit more context as to what led up to it. And I too was listening because I was waiting to see were there any racial elements to his rant. So I would love to go watch the clip in its entirety. But I have a little bit of different take on it than you, Brother Brenton. And that's not to say what you said was incorrect. I agree with everything you said. But I thought you was going in a different direction with it. Where I'm going with it, I think maybe he said, call your mama, because the flip side of it is, this is unfortunately where we're led, that we have way too many households where there aren't any father figures, uncles, big brothers in the picture. And so you got a lot of these young men that's being raised in atmospheres where that's who he know who's in charge. Having said that, let me be clear. The reason why I would like a lot more clarity into context is because I was a substitute teacher. And what it takes now to govern and manage this generation, I wouldn't want to. Kenny Shake is nodding in agreement because you've done it as well.
Right.
What it takes now to stand in front of guys in that age group, and by the way, the girls are worse than the boys, you will lose your religion. I was a substitute teacher, and I left that because I went to work every day with the knowledge that I'm probably gonna have to throw one of these little bastards out of the window. And so what might have led up to that, are you challenging this coach? And so the coach let loose and said what he had to say, because I promise you, I leave this door every single day with the mindset that if I'm challenged by one of these little young bastards, this big old fat man here gonna be viral because I'm gonna hold my own. And so we don't say anything when we were littered with videos of young people inside of classrooms doing that same thing to teachers, snatching phones, hitting them, smacking them, pushing them, this, that, and the other. And so there's something to be said for a coach in authority. Now, I don't know the whole story, but I've learned as I've gotten older, I'm not going to nip at the low-hanging branch there. Maybe the little, I'm holding back my curses again, Sister Devin. Maybe, but to your point, Kenny, did he cross the line? Absolutely. There's no doubt about that part of it, but I just want to know, how did it get to that point? Because I've been in that classroom with my buttons being pushed, and everything about my religion, my decor, my professionalism had left me, and I was ready to go to a whole nother place.
Well, you guys know I do my due diligence, my research, as far as what led up to this tirade from this coach, that I haven't been able to get any context on that. But I will say the coach did apologize with the young man on Facebook, on the school's Facebook page, the day after that went down. And the young man said that this coach is a mentor of his, and he accepts his apology. That is coming from the student. I didn't like that the coach had him with him using them as a prop. I'm like, if you're gonna apologize by yourself. Don't have the students sitting up there looking like a prop. I don't know. You may have just asked him to do that, and I didn't think it was sincere, in my opinion. So as far as what led up to that, still looking for that info, but we do know what we saw on video. Again, it's about 2 minutes long. You can go check out the rest of that verbal cursing out on TLG Sports Media, and you can give me your thoughts on that. Anybody that's watching, you go check it out and tell me what you think. So this coach, he doesn't have much experience. He's coached at multiple levels in Southwest Florida, but as far as like an experienced coach, he's really not that experienced. So I also look at his resume. I don't think he should be coaching kids if that's how you're gonna go at it. So that's just my opinion. So again, that's another TLG Sports moment here on TLG tonight. All right, Brent, we're gonna give it back to you, brother.
Thank you, boss. Where I'm from, mama handles things just like daddy, but I can see all the sides. Yes, no, and I agree.
Now, sometimes you need daddy to handle things when it comes to something. Yeah. Sometimes daddy needs to take care of it.
It is true, but you know, and again, it is. But a side note, man, you did one more. You have mentioned one more job. I don't know what you ain't done. My God, the amount of what they call it, what do you get that when you unemployment you probably have racked up, man? It's like, wow, you have worked a lot.
So well, surprisingly, I have not drawn unemployment a lot. I hate being out of work, to be honest with you, and
I can tell.
I've built up a lot of experience to make me this well-rounded black Archie Bunker that I am.
I'm gonna find out.
Have you sold Kirby's? You sell Kirby vacuums?
No, I've never sold vacuums.
Okay, all right, gotcha.
But he do know what to do with a vacuum hose. I'm sorry, we'll keep it moving. Diane says, happened to my daughter. I had to let her teacher know who she was and who I am. I was very nice about it, but all right, yes, ma'am. That we all got our stories, and I know it.
But,
what kind of vacuum system y'all got? What vacuum y'all got? I need to change brands. If y'all can do all that with a vacuum, what brand is that?
This is a test.
You know what?
Handy dandy. Okay, let me keep it.
My Dyson don't cook you up.
Oh boy. Woo! And let's keep this train on track. Let's keep this train on track, family. Let's keep it on track.
Okay. Yes, man. All right. So listen, y'all know Miss America, right? Have y'all ever watched it?
Man, I ain't watched. I don't watch Miss America pageants.
Okay. Yeah,
years ago. Oh my God.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't misspell this one, but apparently there is a Mrs. America. I ain't know nothing about it, but there's a 27-year-old woman from West Texas. She won Mrs. America 2023. I had to go look at this. So apparently,
I had no idea.
Yeah. So, what did me say? Oh, Diane. Oh, okay.
Sexy lips. Who's she talking about?
I don't know. Okay.
Oh,
yeah, I know. Mrs. America, you have to be 26 years of age and up who are wait, I can't even read this. Mrs. America is for women 26 years of age and up who are single, divorced, widowed, or married with or without children. Competition is based on evening gown. So the only difference is you can be a wife or a divorce.
I guess. Okay. I didn't know they had a Mrs. America.
Yeah. What's the point? What's the point?
That's my point. It's just one more thing for folks to do. I don't know that. I don't know. Yeah, I have no clue. But I just thought it was interesting. Customers.
Yeah. Oh boy.
All right, y'all. Don't listen. Y'all know we chase them rabbits now. Don't have us take this rabbit hole. So again, she was a African. I don't say African man. She's black. I know. I'm sorry, but that's what they was. I was reading, and I was African American. She's black. But anyway, so she won it. 27-year-old. I didn't even know it was a different thing out there like that, but apparently that's something. And so for all you women that
cool.
that have strived to be okay. Yeah. We can talk about
Got
that
you, Miss
$7,
Diane.
Diane. So
Got you, Diane. We got you. Now we
all right.
okay. We got you.
I'll take it.
Yeah, don't get him started. He ain't been drinking today either.
Soup coolers. She talking about the soup coolers, girl.
I cannot drink any alcohol till I go home to New York. I'm off alcohol till the 22nd.
Oh wow. Okay.
You gonna mess up our ratings. What'd you say, Neha? She said old pageant gals not ready to hang up yet. Right, exactly.
Yeah,
So
right.
I don't know. I just report the news. So apparently, if y'all have something that y'all want to deal with, then y'all just go out there and do y'all thing. I don't know, but that's what that is. So yeah. All right. Strawberry letter. Steve Harvey. Y'all now listen. All y'all out here, I know. Listen, it's about 10 of y'all on here. 20, how many? Yeah, something like that. Steve Harvey does Strawberry Letter on his radio show. And is her name Sherry? Cheryl? Something.
Shirley Strawberry.
That's her last name for real?
No, that's not. No, it's not her last name.
Okay.
That's because of the Strawberry Letters. That's
right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know something about this?
Well, no. I just remember back in the day, a long time ago, when I used to listen, when radio was popular, they used to have that Strawberry Letter on the Steve Harvey show. So I'm just familiar too.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I never listened to him. I thought they were fake.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
They were fake. Yeah.
Well, I see now. This one about Steve. So apparently they had pulled some receipts on Sister Sherry, or whatever her name is. Shirley Caesar. All right, I'm gonna think Shirley. Okay, Shirley. All right, so apparently Shirley was talking to her convicted husband, and I'm not sure if Shirley ain't smart. Maybe she a blueberry. I don't know what she is, but how you don't know that when you talking to your husband in jail, they record the phone calls, Shirley, and so they caught Shirley talking about Steve and Marjorie, and she was so in awe of going to Steve's house. It sounds like she ain't been there too often, but she been with the man for about 20 years on the show.
Almost 30 years now. Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, and so apparently, somebody went and got the tapes, leaked them about her talking about Steve, and he already was dealing with some stuff. And so my thing is, I found it interesting. It's like I found it interesting that she just owned it, and I thought that was good. And again, Steve was just trying to get to a place where they just addressed it and move on, but she kept trying to, validate her decision for doing it. And it's like, sister, just let it go, let it pass. But at the same time, I thought to myself, I said, how mature of them to go ahead and just let it be what it is? Because the reason why people continue to come at us, right, is because when we want to lie, like Tyrese was doing when he want to act like he don't know he texting because he on medication. That's another story. I should have followed up with that food too, but whatever. Right. But here's my thing. If anybody was listened to on your phone calls, we've all said things about somebody that we probably wouldn't say in front of their face. That's just normal, right? But my thing is, why don't people want to own it? You know what I'm saying? Like if you get caught, you just get caught, and if you don't, just shut your mouth, I guess, at the end of the day. So I don't know, but I mean, Kenny, what you think about it? You saw a little bit of it.
My thoughts on it. I think it's my whole thing is a lot of times the people that's closest to you are the people that's gonna talk the most ish about you.
Right.
In my opinion, I think they're the ones that really a lot of times don't have your best interest at heart. And it's unfortunate that this came out. It was leaked. That private conversation, but again, that's a jail conversation she was having with her ex-husband. But the truth has come out. She's probably been feeling like that anyway. She's probably been saying other things behind his back, before. So
right.
Again, like I say, a lot of times who you think is your homie and your best girlfriend, they're the ones that be talking mad ish about you behind your back all the time. So keep your enemies close is what they always say. And that's my thoughts on it.
And here's this for you, sister. I mean, Steve and Marjorie got enough money to not care about what people that don't mean nothing to them think. And even if the people that do work for you, I mean, that's the whole point. You envy them, you want to be like them. So I get it. So I guess it really wasn't a big deal to me because she didn't say nothing crazy, but I guess it's messing with her money now because here's the truth: you never bite the hand that feeds you, dummy. But but again, yeah. So I don't know what you take on that, sister.
I think the lady thought she was having pillow talk or kitchen table talk with her husband, and
In
that was the
jail?
gist of it. Because there ain't nobody listening to this or sitting on here that has worked for somebody or worked with somebody that you couldn't stand, but you just couldn't say what you truly felt about them for that same reason. You need that check, or you want that check, or you don't want to lose or jeopardize your job. So she
Right.
felt like she was having a private, personal conversation about somebody that she worked for. And I personally think it wasn't that bad. I could think of a whole lot worse
Right.
that she could have said about them than what she did. So, in my opinion, she kind of liked them a little bit because most people don't care a lot about the people that you work for. Let's just be real. It's something, especially if you've been working for them for all that time. And I know when people like Ricky Smiley, Gary with the T
Right.
used to have to deal with Steve, I noticed they treat him real carefully around him. It's like they walk on eggshells around him and they don't joke with him or say certain things with him that they do around other people. And that's probably the way she felt too. And those type of people, when you're not around it no more, you feel like you should be able to, just unload on your spouse or your best friend or whatever. So, I mean, I think it is what it is, but I don't think she wants to lose her job. I just think they need to figure it out. And now she knows she can't pillow talk at the prison line, on the prison line.
I mean, how slow can you be? But here this one for you, Black. This happened over a year ago. So I mean, it really ain't news, and it's only news is because people want to see everybody fall, and that's a shame that they do that. And at the same time, I commend Steve because I mean, you understand people make mistakes, and again, like she said, she didn't say nothing that was detrimental. She just said how she felt, and so I respect Steve for how he handled it. He just wanted to move on from it, and I mean, she ain't hurting his pockets, so why does he care? So what you think, bro?
Woo, I guess I see it differently. I really and truly do.
All right,
And I'm looking at the comments, and Diane P said that they don't care. He didn't fire her, and Miss Nihar says not yet. And so that's where I agree with this. And I didn't even know that this whole conversation was recorded a year ago, which makes it even more auspicious.
mm-hmm.
That the fact that it's coming up now, because that's where I was going with this. This wouldn't be a thing except the timing of it.
Right.
He's already in the media right now dealing with allegations that his wife cheated on him. And so let me go back to Brother Kenny's point. You say, well, sometimes the people closer to you, it depends on the group that you surround yourself with. But when you build a foundation that's not built, on anything solid, because you surround yourself with sycophants and phony people, and you live out your life in such a way that it does matter what people think of you, because you live your life on social media because you want people to see how fly you dress, how bad your house is, how bad your wife is. And so now you've surrounded yourself with even the people you work with who daily get paid to kiss your ass. Well, guess what, folks? This is chickens coming home to roost. I think the fact that he does care, and I am going to be watching this closely to see how long it takes for her to be out of a job, because to do it now, it would look too suspicious. But you can't make me believe that you've gone on record now indicating that you don't like this woman's wife and blah, 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 and think behind the scenes she ain't telling the husband, oh, that bitch got to go. And not to mention the fact that, I'm full disclosure, I'm not a fan of Steve Harvey. This is somebody who pretends that he knows so much more than he does. And I don't like how he flaunt his wealth and he lives out his life on social media. See, I miss the good old days. The Denzel Washingtons, where you don't know what a person's house look like. They don't flaunt their wealth. They live their life. But the Steve Harveys who live right here in Atlanta, He wants you to know that he goes to McDonald's in his Maybach and Rolls Royce. And so the reality is that this is what you get when you surround yourself with people that every day the chitter chatter, and it matters to you what others think of you. Now, me on a personal, I don't give a damn whether she cheated on him or not, or anything. I don't really care about him in his ugly way.
Well, yes, sir. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, I agree with you. Shirley ain't ever coming to Marjorie's house again, so you can hang that up.
That ain't happening.
Yeah, and if I was you, Shirley, I would start updating that resume. Cause it's just how it works around here. It's just how they say that's show business though.
Yep.
So yeah. So anyway, we'll follow up on it if something else come of it, but I don't really care. If I'm being honest, I just it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So she didn't say nothing crazy. Anyway. So all right. So listen, y'all. I'm very hesitant about this next segment because she didn't tell us nothing, and so I don't know what she's trying to do, but I trust her. So we're gonna see, sister. Who it look like you trying to get in our business? That's what you trying.
Y'all literally, all I do is mind my business. And I was gonna be real messy because I saw a messy story that I was gonna throw at y'all about, and it was of course it was child support related, so I be wanting y'all opinion on stuff. But I was like, you know what? Then I saw something else where somebody asked a question, and I was just curious to know what y'all thoughts were. What I saw was they asked, can you think of a character or from a movie or a TV show that, like, the first person you think of mind that will always be embedded in your brain, and the first person that comes to your mind? And I'm gonna start because y'all look like y'all in deep thought. So literally the first person I thought about was Nino Brown. And everybody know who Nino Brown is.
Okay.
Y'all not know who Nino Brown is? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, my brother's keeper.
So I want to know what y'all black.
Your voice went out. You say again? Who's the first person, the character?
Oh, I'm sorry. I said black. Who was the first person that came to your mind? Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, my brain is filled with so much effery and foolishness, but character-wise, I think about Forrest Gump. That's the first thing that popped in my head, Forrest Gump. Tom Hanks made such an indelible mark with that character that's the first person that popped in my mind, in this instance. So it's one of those movies where, and I guess that came up recently because I was thinking about he really wasn't the first chosen actor to play that role, but I can't imagine now anybody else playing it but him. He did, to me, such a brilliant job. A lot of people don't know that there was supposed to be a part 2 actually to it as well, but that's the first thing came to mind.
That's a good question.
I'm slow.
That is a good one.
What
do y'all think of one?
I'm gonna say Denzel, Malcolm X. Denzel Washington playing Malcolm X. I thought that he definitely brought Malcolm X back to life, in my opinion. I didn't see the physical similarities. I'm like, how is Denzel going to really play because you want someone to kind of look similar to it, but once he grew the goatee, he put the glasses on and he started talking. I was like, God damn, that's Malcolm.
Yep.
I said that's Malcolm all over again. So I got to go with Denzel playing Malcolm X, which he should have won the Oscar for, in my opinion.
Right.
So
right. Okay. I guess I was slow, but I now I get what you're asking me. I didn't get it at first. I was like, "What are you asking me?" I don't know. Okay. Yeah, Craig.
That's
What's up, bro? Good to
Craig.
see you.
That's a good one too, Craig.
I was gonna go there, but when I thought about it, if I was to think about the most impressionable person that played a character, it would have to be Angela Bassett for me when she did Tina Turner.
I was thinking about her too.
Yeah, I saw her in a lot of movies, but I don't want to get too deep. But she did it, man. Like I literally, it took me a long time to not see her as Tina. You know what I'm saying? So when she did things, but she really played that part very well. And that's what it was for me. Tina.
Maybe I didn't understand. I thought for me, I just literally thought about the first person that popped in my head, though. The first character that popped in my head.
And I guess I'm immature because I didn't go nowhere good like y'all did. I was thinking about people like Pookie and Shanae and and Tommy Strong.
Right. I was thinking about them too. Martin,
Cole Payne.
Right. Right.
I thought about radio with Cuba.
Yeah.
But I was like, I didn't want to be silly, so I was like,
I was thinking about those iconic characters that if you hear the name, you still know. When you hear you ain't got the lie, Craig. You know exactly who Craig.
Right.
Okay.
Debo. You right.
Yeah.
Debo for Friday.
Yes.
That's definitely
Yes.
iconic. You right.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Yeah.
Now shout out to Nino Brown.
Like that.
I want to share with the family. Shout out to Nino Brown, because on October the 14th, I will be going to a 50th anniversary party, and the theme is New Jack City. And we were told that the birthday boy is Nino. We were told not to come as Nino Brown. I'm coming as Nino Brown. I'm going to be the fat metaverse Nino Brown. I'm going to be the Nino Brown that had he not got killed and he was allowed to get fat and live on. That's me. So I'm going to be Nino Brown too.
Hey, you got to go live, bro.
I'm going to go live to let y'all check it out.
Live or something, for real. I want to see this.
We got to see that one, huh? Yeah. That's funny.
And the last character we're going to talk about is Black Sexy Lips. We're going to Black Sexy Lips. And we then go back to my own. That's what she was talking about. She was talking about his. Go back to minding my own business.
I'll take it. And I have not been able to put these lips in that private place in a while.
This is a test.
That's beautiful. That's okay. All right. Oh my goodness. Let's keep it going, y'all. Listen, it's the new child support rules.
See now and I didn't even say nothing nasty.
No, you didn't. But again, what you say? All your thoughts, everybody's thoughts go somewhere. This is where it goes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna hit myself, but I'm cut up. All right. So listen, Texas. I just want you all to be careful. Now, if a drunk driver kills a parent of a child or guardian of a child, those people now, according to House Bill 393, they will be responsible for paying child support to those children. Yeah. So y'all might want to put that liquor down. I mean, man, it's already bad enough that you slept with her and you got it, but man, you ain't even slept with him and you're gonna end up paying child support to somebody. Y'all might want to be careful out there, man. Y'all think that? I mean, sister, you think that's a good idea?
Wait.
So I know you read this thing.
I'm sorry. Anyway,
I didn't read that.
I don't really speak criminal, but what is it called when you have to pay people back anyway when you commit
restitution.
a crime?
Yeah.
You know, when you pay the restitution, isn't that like similar? You know what I'm saying? And if you like something bad happens, like and you got a prison record, you know what I'm saying? You ain't paying but $110 a month anyway. But if your daddy made $500,000 a year, like I think it just sounds good, but because if it's truly a vehicular homicide or a DWI homicide, for one, you're gonna be in prison for the longest. You're not gonna get a good job. You're already paying back the money that you're owed by the court, because that's going to be a ton of money that you owe anyway. And by the time the kid grows up, once all this is done and you finish prison, he's going to be almost grown. So I don't know. I think it sounds better than what it is, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, listen, they got to pay it till they're 18. So listen, that's relative, depending on who you hit, man. So I don't know, Black Kenny. Y'all think that's pretty reasonable?
I'm kind of like Craig. I think it's just another example of how much of a racket the child support, especially in Texas, it is. I think at the end of the day, if they get convicted of that charge, they're going to be incarcerated anyway. So how are they going to be able to make child support payments at that point? Yeah. And just like Sister Devin said, that normally you have to pay some sort of restitution anyway. So I mean, I don't get. This is just another piece of paper legislation in Texas that they just wasting paper and time on. I mean, I think it sounds good in theory, but the execution of it just doesn't. I don't get it.
I agree 1,000%. In principle, I like what it stands for in principle. Holding people even more accountable, especially if you're being irresponsible with drinking and driving. But logistically, I just don't know how you can pull it off. But this being tech coming from, you got to consider the source. This being Texas, it's another reason why, I think that maybe it's sending a clear signal. I think here in America, we're headed to a place of segregation again. It's just happening on a higher level. It's happening on a much higher level. When you consider the fact that 14% of the population is African American, and in the next 10 years, white America is going to now be the minority, I think that they are reconstructing segregation and they're using laws to do it. When you consider what's happening in certain states like Georgia, Florida, Texas, the redistricting and things like that, and how they're stacking the courts, they're doing it on a sophisticated level, where in essence what they saying is, because what is the penal system filled with? Who gets held most accountable for violations of child support? People that look like you and me. And so I think this is another sophisticated level of keep your black ass out of Texas, keep your black ass out of Georgia, keep your black ass out of Florida.
Right.
Yeah. That's the truth, man. Stay out them clubs after midnight. I'm just telling y'all, it's gonna cost you a little longer. Miss Demi, I think yes, I wanted to make sure that you don't think we was making light of what you're saying. No, I believe Forrest Whitaker is a great actor. I liked him better in Godfather Harlem. He
was dope in that.
Yeah, we was actually laughing at Miss Diane about her and Lee. I think
shout out to you, Miss Diane. We might be old, but we ain't buried, baby.
I know that's right. Tell her,
Miss Diane, $7 is $7, Miss Diane.
Where's Miss Tori when you need her, boy? I tell you, come on, Tori, get this together, please. All right, one more. We gonna get out of here. Listen, sologamy. I've never heard of this. I don't know what it is, and I tell you, the delusion is real around here. But apparently, y'all remember Maya? Your love is like whoa. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that sexy. Yeah, I know that sexy woman.
All right, calm down there, Ken the Cougar. So she says she's a sologamist. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Sologamy, I guess. This is when a person is married to themselves. They practice. The practice argue that it affirms one's own value and leads to a happier life. Critics argue that the practice is not legally binding, unlike traditional marriage, as well as rooted in narcissism and I don't know. If I could make that a one-word answer, I would, but it was impossible for me to do so. But I don't know. Oh, damn it for the night. Oh, wow. That's all right. She'd appreciate it, honey. She need to tip some of them bars that she be going to anyway. So I don't understand this, y'all. I mean, what is sologamy? Or do we want to have this conversation, or should I just move on?
Well, I got a comment. Let me comment on this intellectual bull.
Okay.
Because that's what it is. This is tantamount to what Wayne Brady did a few weeks back.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Unsolicited.
Yes.
Nobody asked you about your sex life, dating life. In fact, you're not even that relevant anymore. So to come out and tell us, who gives a shit? But the reality is, once upon a time, she was sexy. But now that don't nobody want that snatch, and you had more troops in that pussy
I
than a
do.
little bit. Don't get me wrong, I'll still take a little bit of it too. But I'm just saying,
She's vegan too. She don't eat meat.
But ain't nobody jocking for her anymore. And the reality is that to come out now and then, that I do get pissed off about that. After you done had every hole in your head and tail plugged up for the last 10 years, now all of a sudden you want to be good to yourself and be sly. Go somewhere and lay the hell down. Maya.
I know, Kenny, sister, y'all got something on old Maya? I don't know.
I just think
sound like a dog whistle.
Yeah.
It was a dog whistle. Dudes in her DM and to get attention. That's just the equivalent of I don't need no man, but call me. Anybody thinking about her? She's lonely.
I'm telling you.
I agree.
I'm with you, Craig. Nihar said that's a hoax that's been run through.
No, that's a hoe.
She said she called him a garden tool. Garden tool is what she called it.
I'm sorry. My intellect.
She's still fine though. She fine is all outside though.
Look at all of them.
I wouldn't kick out of bed.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well. All right. Well. Okay. So. Yeah. Maya, thank you for nothing. I mean, news and information we can't use, but
exactly.
All right. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, y'all. So I got a series that I want to talk about. I really have enjoyed our series, man. I think we've been doing some really hard talking, and I appreciate y'all. I think the family appreciates you all for that. And so I don't know everybody's situation in this, but I still wanted to have the conversation. And the pros and cons of divorce. I am a child of that type of situation. My parents divorced when I was very young, and so I do have thoughts on it. I personally have not been divorced, so I just wanted all of our perspectives. Is one more than the other? Who it affects more? And I mean, is there I know there are good reasons why people feel as they get divorced, and I'm not talking about that part. I'm just wanting to have the conversation about let's make better decisions beforehand so that we don't affect more people on the other hand. So I'm basically asking if you have hindsight 2020 about divorce, pros and cons, and if you've been affected in divorce. What's your thoughts about that? So, Brother Kenny, let me hear from you, brother. What do you think?
I can honestly say yes.
I
was divorced. I was married for 19 years, and we divorced officially in 2013. And so, if hindsight was 2020, I really wish we would have worked harder at keeping our marriage together. Mm-hmm. Because I just think that the thing is to give up if the other person isn't really, y'all not seeing eye to eye on stuff. So instead of working at it, we rather just throw in the towel. Again, we had the issues we had were very small and minute. Now that I look back on it, while I was in it, I think we both thought it was big. But once we got away from it, because she was my best friend, and we were still best friends. We had an amicable divorce. Our children were grown, and again, we were in contact. Obviously, you all know that I lost her a year ago, so that definitely weighs on my mind too. I wonder if we would have stayed together. Could I have kind of helped her through some health things that she was dealing with? So there are pros and cons, but I think in my experience, I think I would advise anybody that's thinking about divorce, really think about it hard. Really try to go to counseling if you possibly can, and before you make that decision, because a divorce is like a death. Be honest with you, it's basically like a death. So that would be my advice.
Yeah, Nihar says I come from the old school and no documented child support. It was a call your daddy situation back then. Okay, I'm not sure she's on the same topic as us right now.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I think she on the topic we were just talking about.
Okay,
The
gotcha.
text,
The most
yeah, the
recent.
text.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Okay, sister. I mean, again, I'm a product of divorce. I have taken that into much consideration when it comes to my family, and so I'll share that here in a moment. But what are your thoughts about pros and cons of divorce?
I think my most recent divorce was the best thing that ever happened for me and my children. We were miserable. He kind of just brought down everybody. It was when he came around, everybody just kind of like scattered like roaches to the room because he just brought a lot of negativity um, with him. It just followed it. And I think a lot of that came from me because I was scorned for being mistreated and wronged for so many years. And I think that my children saw that I was so unhappy and he was an a-hole. And I just think it all just kind of spiraled out of control. And to be honest, I never should have married. Um, but the pros of there are so many pros of divorce, so I don't want to come off negative. I mean, you can literally just marry the wrong person, but that partnership, that having that friendship, and that having that person that gets back and you can be there for them, be there for you. I just think that means a lot. So I'm very pro marriage, but I'm also very pro divorce when it's needed because I mean, you only have one life, and life is too short to be miserable just for the sake of saying you have a spouse
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
or
Yeah.
because you're
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, I appreciate you, sharing and even owning your position of it. And again, most people don't. And that's just a level of maturity that I wish that most of us would get to, where we don't just keep trying to sugarcoat our behaviors or our decision making in situations. And yeah, it could have been better had I made a different decision. So yeah, I appreciate that for sure. All right, brother, come on, talk to me.
So that brother on the bottom corner, we truly share a kinship in so many ways. Same astrological sign, about a year apart in age, and he's the good side of me. I'm the bad side of the Capricornians.
Yeah, you got
Well,
that
where I
down right.
fall at then? Yeah.
You know, you're the wisdom. You're the glue that holds us together, my brother.
Right.
Thank
No,
you.
and I mean I really in some ways.
Yeah, I
So on
appreciate it.
this subject, I grew up with us in a single parent household. So I honestly grew up having no concept whatsoever of a marriage, and left home when I was 17 and got married at 21. And I was a very active Jehovah's Witness at the time. And so Kenny, the way he described it, about being a death, and in hindsight and retrospect, the damage that is done to me has never been wiped away. I've never remarried because the standard under which I measure marriage is scriptural. And of course, I don't live up to those standards. And I took the coward's way out when I ended my marriage. There were no children involved, and I didn't have the proper tools and the maturity at the time to know enough. I didn't even surround myself with other older couples who I could have benefited from. So the easy out at that time, like Brother Kenny mentioned, was what I thought is insurmountable. I look back now and I wish I had fought a lot harder. And the damage that it's done to me can never be understated, because I've been with a lot of good women and a whole lot of bad ones. And having said that, the divorce, it put a wall up inside of me, because it was the second greatest thing that I've ever accomplished that I failed at. My relationship with God is number one. And I don't consider that a failure. That's a work in progress. Might be I'm on a different path, but I still have for me, a healthy relationship with God. But the second most important thing I ever did was to take a wife and stand in front of witnesses and God and say, I'm going to protect this woman. And I failed at it, and I didn't do it. And even when I have dreams today, and this is some 35 years later, whenever I have dreams and I think of a wife, the only face that shows up is my ex-wife from 35 years ago. All of the bitches I've been through. it's her face that still pops up in my dreams, in my reality. And so for me, the pain of that, and I think for me has made me afraid to really give so much of myself to somebody ever again, because I don't ever want to experience the devastating pain that it caused. And the persona of Black was created out of that pain. And here I sit now, and I think some of the true cons of it is, I think when you're married, think, this is statistics. You live longer when you're in a healthy relationship because you have somebody there now who give a damn about you enough to care about your health and your weight and your this, that, and the other. So this single life that I live, it's unhealthy. Even in the 7 years that I've been single living here in Atlanta, I'm the most unhealthy I've ever been in my life because I'm not in a safe space with somebody who care about me. So this selfish, monolithic lifestyle that I live, it's a whole different thing. So I know that's going on a different tangent, but I think divorce is so destructive. And now societally, we've gotten away from everything that's traditional. And so what I would want in a wife now, I don't see that out there. And so I truly feel I'm resigned to stay single. And one of my fears is that I'll die alone because I'm not going to take a woman just for the sake of having a woman. And I'm not going to have somebody in here that I'm not compatible with. So it's just easy to keep living this life that I am. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah. Man, my partner commented, Kemper, man, good to see you. He said divorce was like a death to me, but thank God I bounced back. Yeah, man, and I get it. And Demi says this: growing up, at one point, I wanted my parents to divorce. At one point, because of the arguments, but we would have been with both parents at any time. They worked it out. I desire to marry one day. Yeah, I appreciate that. She says, "Thank you all for your vulnerability. I pray couples work harder to stay together." And again, I too have a strong conviction of my faith. I won't take that any further than that. Just I'll make this statement as the product of a divorced couple. There's a lot of insecurities that come, especially when you have friends that are not like that. Even for my sibling, you know what I'm saying? Just for the women. And again, this is my experience. Don't invalidate it just because you don't agree with it.
Right.
I'm going to tell you this. So, you know, what I've seen, you know, as a young lady, when the parents are divorced, it bothers their security in men. They need that, right? So again, I know y'all say, well, you don't want to stay married for the sake of the kids. Well, don't get married for the sake of the kids, right? Again, maybe you ain't cut out to do it. You know, that's what I'm saying, because what y'all fail to realize is selfish to say, well, you shouldn't stay married for the sake of the kids. Well, okay, well, don't get married. Then if you don't want to have kids, don't have it because you want. And again, I'm not speaking to everybody's situation. I'm just telling you from the perspective of the child who had to go through it. You know what I'm saying? Going from house to house and all this kind of stuff and the rigmarole of the frustration. I won't allow my kids to be in a deficit. Now, I will not lie. I've almost been married to my wife for 2 decades. Did those words cross? Although we said that we wouldn't, of course things came up. Of course but we had to mature to a place where you say, hey, is that worth it? And no, and sometimes it's more to it. So I get it. I'm just saying I want us to see the bigger picture when it comes to it. It's more than just you that's being hurt by it. Ain't nobody asked you to stay at nothing you didn't like. Devin gave a great clarity about her position. I got it. So, but all I'm saying is, I just for moving forward, don't be quiet about your history. Don't be quiet about what you've gone through, because let's not continue the habitualness of bad decision making. Let's not allow our kids to do that. And so again, that it is real talk. So good conversation. Again, we're not here to exhaust everything. I just want to talk about it. She said, I loved being married. The problem was my husband thought I was his punching bag, and that's not.
That was definitely a pro to get up out of there.
Yeah, very true. Yep. And so again, you shouldn't. Here it is, and I move on. In a marriage, You should never treat your spouse like a punching bag. They should be your sparring partner.
Interesting.
Yeah. All right. I'll just say that. Sparring partners help each other out, right? We don't punch. We don't do punching bags. We do sparring partners. That way we work on each other's character. All right. Anyway, I'll move on from that. Good conversation. All right. Thank y'all so much. Let's keep it going. Now listen, he ain't tell me he got nothing to say, so I'm gonna just say Lee Black. Do you got something to say?
Oh yeah, no, I had sent in my topic.
Oh, I didn't see it. My bad, Doc.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
I sent it in late.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
The title of my segment is Lest We Forget.
Lest we forget.
Lest
I'll have
we
it up in
forget.
just a second. There it is. Go. Yes, sir. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Lee Black. Lest we forget. Sober.
Yes, indeed. 22 years ago today, do you guys remember where you were?
Oh, 9/11.
22 years ago today. In honor of 9/11, I can sit here and tell you with 100% certainty and clarity exactly where I was that day, how it unfolded. And what I'm referring to is almost 3,000 individuals lost their lives in a coordinated attack on the World Trade Centers. Among the fatalities that day, there were 343 firefighters, 72 law enforcement officers, and 55 military personnel. And from that tragedy, we were told that we would never forget the game that's being played on TV right now. I don't know if you saw the beginning of it, where the two lights extend to the sky, an indelible memory for us to never forget what happened. But folks, what happened? It's amazing to me that this day is right now on this panel. We all shook our heads and we could say exactly where we were. So the question I would ask you guys, if you were to put a camera in the faces of people today and ask, what is 9/11? What's it all about? I would venture to say it's been forgotten. This generation now, they know more about what 420 is all about. A holiday that, according to an unconventional holiday, that's become the rallying cry of those who want to legalize marijuana. So for the consumers, advocates, smokers, they celebrate that more than we did a time in our history when we, for one quiet moment, we stood in solidarity. There was a level of patriotism and nationalism that is sorely missing from what we see only 22 short years later. And so, folks, when we do shows like this, it just called up to mind just how far we've moved the needle away from being together, white, black, and everything in between. And for just a brief moment, about 4 years ago, we had another quiet moment when COVID hit. And collectively, as a society, as American society, we were afraid of what might happen. And do you know what my fear is now, folks? Not only do we not remember momentous occasions like that, the fear is even gone. We joke around and talk about the metaverse, but my true fear is, what is it going to take? Are we really going to have zombies rise from the grave? Is it going to take truly the second coming before we collectively stand together and be of the same mind and put apart all of our petty differences? Because we have forgotten what that moment did for us and made us think about humanity and wanted to see us come together and be better as a country. You look at the Olympics, the FIBA games, rather, that's been played and things of that nature. And so that's supposed to drum up some nationalistic spirit amongst us, but it doesn't anymore. There is nothing happening right now to bring us together collectively. And I bring this up, folks, because we're about to face another election cycle that at its core is designed to tear us apart. So I'm not sitting here telling you that I have the answers, but I just want us to remember, and maybe it's our responsibility to pass this down to others. Dave Chappelle told a story when he was receiving a prestigious award one time when his mother wanted him to be a griot. And a griot in African culture is a story keeper. It was the person in the village where you went and you told your culture, your stories, and that person was a living library. And I think there's such a value in that. And for us in this generation, in our 40s and 50s, we need to take on the characters of a griot. We need to start handing down those stories about what it means to be an American, not just a Black American, what it means and what the past looks like. Generations before us could tell us where they were at when JFK died. We can tell those young people exactly where we were when 9/11. What is their story going to be? Where they was at when they was blazing up? Folks, we got to do better, because lest we forget, there's a saying, history is doomed to repeat itself, and we got to do better.
All right, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for that. All right, y'all. Listen, it has been a fantastic show, and I appreciate you all for chiming in and letting us know. And on behalf of Devin, thank you, Demi, for wanting to send her something. I guess the fellas didn't say anything, but okay, no, I'm just teasing. All right, y'all. Let's final thoughts time, madam. Thank you so much for digging in our business this week. So please, by all means, let me have your final thoughts.
I kind of want to piggyback off of what Black was talking about. I think people are very impressionable, and it's probably going to take a leader to speak in a way that brings people together. And unfortunately, that's going to have to be backed up by, I hate to say it, some tragedy or some event that also makes people come together. Because if it's just a leader speaking about being good and coming together, then there's going to be some idiot here on the side that rallies all the dumbasses. So it's going to take a leader and some event to make everyone come together to be similar to the way we were with 9/11. Of course, I never want something as horrible like that to happen again. I know in other areas of the world we're dealing with wildfires and things of that nature. And unfortunately, something like that would have to hit home, because those tragedies in those areas, guess what? It brings those communities together, and they all work well together when things like that happen. And I don't want that to happen to us, but unfortunately, it may have to.
You're right.
Then again, it may not, because we got some dumbasses
Yes,
around
yes, Lord.
here that just don't care.
You're right. Demi says I was thinking the same thing. Unfortunately, Devin. All right, brother Kenny, my brother, give me your final thoughts, man.
Love the show. I miss you guys, miss my family, but I'm glad we can come back and pick up where we always leave off, like we ain't missed the beat. I want to give a shout out to Miss Coco Golf. I meant to mention that in the sports segment. The young sister did her thing. She won her first U.S. Open. So shout out to Miss Coco Golf. We proud of you, young sister. And I also, to kind of talk about 9/11. First of all, I want to send love and light to all the families that lost loved ones on that day. I know your life has never be the same, and we send in love and light. But 9/11 also means something a little bit different for me, because 4 years prior to that, I lost the most influential man that was ever in my life. Again, I grew up in a single parent household, but the most influential man in my life, my maternal grandfather, by the name of Elder Amos Henderson Sr., he passed away on 9/11 in 1997. So 9/11 means something totally different to me. So I want to give a shout out to my Pawpaw, who we affectionately call Pawpaw. Continue on your peaceful journey, Pawpaw. Your grandson is down here trying to make you proud, and you may be gone, but you never forgot. Love you, Pawpaw. We'll holler at you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, for sure. Man, that's crazy how everything is. But most definitely condolences, man. Love you, brother. All right, Black. Come on, man. Pull something else out that rabbit. Pull something out that hat.
Mine's real short. Craig says that he knew exactly. He was at home getting ready for work, and he said, I thought I was watching a movie. Craig, exactly. Same thing. I was supposed to work that day, and somebody called me and said, man, are you watching this? And it was like a scene out of a science fiction movie. And I bring that up only to say that I've spent today sending a clip that 60 Minutes did, especially on 9/11. So I've been sending it to different people, especially young people, because they do think this was something that happened so long ago. It just doesn't have any relevance. and I just don't want us to forget it. So I want to just encourage you guys. If you want, I'll send you the clip. And yeah, you know, even if they all think they watching a movie, I just think it's an important part of history to keep it at the forefront of our minds, because for me, that was one of the last times when I truly saw the humanity in people. And I just think we've gotten so far away from that. And so I want to keep that memory alive. And so I've sent it to different people today, and I'm going to continue to do so. And as a part of me tonight, I'm going to go back and watch bits and pieces of it again tonight, because it's important to me. You know, that's my city. I'm from New York City. So, yeah.
Yeah. Man, the conglomerate of just who we are. Today is my mother's birthday. And so that's all I remember. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was, man. So yeah, 9/11. I'll never forget a birthday because I remember.
That's right.
So at that point, yeah. So again, I've learned from Shirley Strawberry. I ain't gonna say nothing about something. So they come back to get me. So I'm gonna do that. So all right, listen, y'all. Quick question. Please, just when does size matter the most?
Oh man, you know what, Brent?
The kitchen in the bedroom. The kitchen in the bedroom.
Hey, Black, I saw your show. What's your music mood? Great show. Oh, right on, man.
Oh, thanks, brother Craig.
That's what's up.
Yes,
thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Y'all listen. Tell the folks we out here, man, because they don't know. They don't believe that fat meat's greasy. But hold on. I'm all right. I got to hit myself with that one.
This.
All right, Nick. Yes, man.
Fat meat is greasy.
Yes, it is. I'm about to get it away. Sister, Kenny, when does size matter the most?
I'm gonna let the lady go first, Miss Debbie.
I'm gonna keep it PG. I'm gonna say in relation to my bank account.
I know that's right. There it is.
Ooh.
That intellect coming on in. Intellect, come on in. Intellect. Yes, ma'am. All right, Kenny. One more time.
When there's a drastic weight differential between a man and a woman.
True. Very true.
Ooh.
Right. Only Kenny.
And I'll let y'all figure that one out.
That's it. What you say? Let your mind wander.
Yeah.
He just be up there rolling side to side. No, they're just rolling.
Damn.
Like he on a roller coaster.
That's it. That's it. What you say, Demi? That's it. Me and then y'all sisters. All right, honey. I know that's right. All right. So listen. In my opinion, when size matters the most, y'all take a look at this.
Damn.
Ooh, child.
Now, how are you gonna fall on a little ass bike like that?
Somebody should have hit the stop button on the remote control.
If you're lacking in one aspect, you did. Oh, girl. All right,
Miss Neha, I agree, baby.
My goodness.
I agree. But just so you know, that goes both ways. Sometimes that box is trash too.
This is a test.
You know what? Can we get the outro? Can we get the outro real quick?
Okay, wait. I gotta give my perspective on the young man. Okay. Now, y'all listen, hold on. Listen, the term is the bigger they are, the harder they fall. But it don't matter how big or small you are, it still hurts when you fall. So I just want you it don't matter. No matter how big or how little it hurts. So again, make sure you
you talking about the tongue size. If his thing little, his tongue needs to be big and long. Is that what you're saying?
No, she said you got to overcompensate. So if you can't sling that meat, you got to eat that treat.
You got to flick that tongue, baby.
I'm just saying. But I'm saying, I'm just saying that sometimes there's misconceptions that them boxes got a magic trick to it, and sometimes them walls all wallowed out, and big old sausage fingers playing in it. Shit.
You know what? I'm gonna go watch. I'm gonna go watch the end of this show. I'm just gonna go and let y'all know now. I'm gonna watch the end of this show sometime tonight.
It was a short fall. It was a short fall. I'm sorry, but all right, y'all. I gotta get it. It's been 2 weeks, y'all. So y'all just hold on. We'll be all right.
Miss Leon, I wasn't talking about you, baby. I'm just saying in general.
All right. Well, listen, Miss Nehar, I'll let you and Lee talk on offsite channel for this one. All right. So y'all handle up. Okay. All right. So anyway, that's Lee Black. That's Kenny, and that's Devin. We're gonna see y'all on Monday. We out.
Peace.
Peace.